Today's celebration is about Tom Desimio. It's also a celebration of Ἀξιός, because Tom Desimio and Ἀξιός have become practically synonymous. There isn't an endosonographer on the planet that does not know Tom Desimio. You think Ἀξιός, you think Tom Desimio. So what about the origin of the name Ἀξιός? Well, it's an acronym. It's short for axial ostomy. Ἀξιός is also a famous award-winning wine from Napa Valley. And if you look more closely at this label here, you can see a figure from Greek mythology. That's because Ἀξιός is the Greek river god. And you can see the Greek river god here holding Ἀξιός. The Greek river god was the most powerful god in Greek mythology. Homer talked about this god. It was more powerful, she in this case, than Hercules or Zeus, because this was the god of flow and movement. That is life. Ἀξιός enabled life. And Ἀξιός had the power of divine providence. Homer talks about it in the Iliad. Ἀξιός determined that Tom should meet Dr. B one day. That was supposed to be 500 BC. But things got delayed. And the meeting didn't occur until 2006 AD. Why the delay? Well, there were preparations that needed to be made. Preparations for Tom. First, Ἀξιός determined that he should become a mechanical engineer. He needed training and experience as an engineer. And here you see Tom working as an engineer. And Ἀξιός determined that Tom should also have training and experience in the cath lab, working as a nurse. And here you can see Tom assisting in the cath lab. You can also see this halo because now Tom was saving lives. And in the cath lab, Tom learned how to use coaxial catheter instruments to perform surgical type procedures and how to use guide wires. And so finally, Tom was ready to join IES at CPMC, and that was 2006, here on Buchanan Street, California Pacific Medical Center. And Tom had to start first at the bottom level, working in two cramped rooms, a fluoro room and an EUS room, working until the wee late hours of the night with Dr. B, performing ERCP after ERCP. But finally, in 2008, the holy gates of the Paul May and Frank Stein Interventional Endoscopy Center were opened. Spanking brand new unit, thanks to the philanthropy of Paul May and Frank Stein. And so this is where the Starship IES takes flight. And Dr. B, sitting here, tells Tom, his number one, that it's time to go warp speed ahead. And here on the Starship IES, you can see Tom always hands-on, always with a smile. That was Tom. And the gears of his intellectual curiosity were always turning. Tom was always asking questions and giving very helpful suggestions. But Ἀξιός had more in store for Tom. This was just the beginning. The IES International Scholars Program was established, and postgraduate doctors seeking training in advanced endoscopy came to CPMC to spend a year training. And Tom was a very important part of that training program. Here you can see scholars from around the world that were trained at CPMC. And here's some photos of the international scholars that Tom spent time with. Tom was a very important part of their experience at IES, not just to allow them to have success and to share the tips and the tricks that he learned with Dr. B, but also he developed friendships with these scholars. Every year at DDW, we held an International Scholars Reunion Dinner, and Tom was always a welcome face at these dinners. But Ἀξιός had bigger plans for Tom Desimio. The International Scholars Program was the foundation for the next stage in his career. Dr. Binmoeller founded Exlumina in 2008 in Mountain View, California. And this is the company that developed Ἀξιός, named after, of course, the river god. Dr. B invited Tom to join Exlumina as the director of medical training because he understood that training was key to the success of Ἀξιός. And here is a dinner back in 2010 of Tom together with the first team at Exlumina. So now Tom transitioned to a new starship, the USS Exlumina, to go beyond with advanced transluminal therapy, to explore new extraintestinal organs and spaces, and to go where no endoscopist has gone before. And Tom then joined a new family, the Exlumina family. And here are some photos of Tom with that family that very rapidly grew. At the end, before its acquisition, there were 50 employees at Exlumina. And as Exlumina's director of medical training, Tom trained endoscopists around the US and then later around the world to use Exlumina's devices, first the Navix, later ＡΞιός, and he was often seen on the big screen at meetings around the world, here in Spain. ＡΞιός had even bigger plans in store for Tom. Exlumina was acquired by Boston Scientific in 2015, and as the clinical development manager, Tom enabled the dissemination of ＡΞιός to every endoscopy suite where EOS was performed around the world. And here's some photos of Tom training the doctors. And most recently, at a meeting in Bogota, I was honored to have my former nurse assisting me in a procedure. So a toast to retirement for Tom Desimio. I join Roy Sertigno here in lifting the champagne glass to Tom. We wish you all the best in your retirement.